What doctors don't tell you about addiction. So this is really what I want to dive into today. There's two key areas of what the average medical professional will not share with the alcoholic or addict that is absolutely crucial, critical, life-saving information that people need to know. Now, I'm talking about the healthcare systems in Australia, the US, and the UK. And this has been my experience as a recovering alcoholic and as an addiction specialist who works in this field, my experience and also my clients' experience. When they've been to the doctor, there are two key pieces of information that they don't share. And I genuinely think it's a failing of the education system. Nothing to do with these wonderful people who are trying to make a difference in the world. There's two things they don't know. They don't actually understand addiction. When we look at the medical criteria and the DSM-5, they don't understand the condition and the neurological changes that what actually happens in addiction. Again, we can speak about that in a bit more detail. I'll loop back to that. And the second key thing is they don't then know how to treat addiction. Now, there's obviously no cure for addiction, alcoholism being one of the drugs that we use, alcohol and addiction. In terms of like the core of addiction, alcoholism being one stream of that, the healthcare system doesn't show us what it is and how to treat it. And that's what I really want to do in this station. So there is a couple of videos to refer back to. There's one on, what is addiction? There's a test. Am I an addict or alcoholic? Where we talk about the neurology and the diagnostic criteria, so the DSM-5 from the Medical Journal of the US, that actually where we get to really understand, am I at this point in my alcohol abuse because it's a spectrum where the neurology has shifted and I have lost control and I can no longer return to normal drinking. So firstly, you need an expert to really understand where you are on the DSM-5. And then secondly, what are the options for recovery? Because it's not just AA and NA. It's not just a clinical psych. There are other options. There's smart recovery. There's recovery coaches. And I'm going to do a whole separate video on what the options are to recover, because it's a lot more detailed than just a 12-step program or an expensive clinical psychologist. There's a whole other space. I rarely ever plug my one-on-one work here because I really just want to share my own knowledge, but recovery coaching and my team can also help. So DM, join the community. Love to hear from you.